everybody. Welcome to Rambling Hour with Lisa. It is my second one for the year 2021. Yeah, there's this piece of hair that's bugging me, so you'll just bear with me to redo my hair or to not redo my hair. I just bunch it up on top and it is whatever it is, or I could let it all hang down. Yeah, whatever. So, I'm just gonna wait for some people to join. Oh, I see there has been some people who are joining. Hi, Auntie Darlene. And there's a few things that I want to talk about today. So again, welcome to the Rambling Hour. It is my second one for 2021, and I hope everybody's having a good year so far. I know that with the pandemic and COVID and the lockdowns, if you're in one, which we still are, that it's not, you know, starting off to be the best year, but we have to appreciate the things that we do have. Rachel, there should be some symbols at the bottom, and I think it's the one with the picture-in-picture or the picture with the arrow. Ask Melody. Melody, when I'm ready for Rachel to join. Oh, Rachel, sorry, I forgot to ask you this. Are you on an iPhone, or do you have an iPhone or an iPad? Oh yeah, right. What am I saying? So yesterday was 4 days since my dad passed away. That's why I have his picture right here. And I do want to print off a better one that's not so red. Although he usually had red skin anyways, so quite flushed. And the area that I am in my living room right now is actually, it's the end of the sofa, but it's like the big end, like not like a chaise lounge, but sort of can't say it lounge, but I'm on my knees right now too, because this is like, if I go all the way to the back of the couch, it's like way back here, but it's like this huge thing, and this is where the dog has adopted as her spot. So this is what I got the dog as one of her Christmas gifts. And I set it up here because I don't want her to chew on it, but this is her spot. But I wanted to be in this spot right now because what I'm talking about today is friends and friendship. And I thought about making a display of it, and I will in the future, or when I have certain friends on, I might make a display in the background reminding me of the person that I'm going to have join in. But some of my things from friends are in here. And I just added some lights in here, so it's the first time I've ever really had this lit up. I don't know if you can see this one. It's a Mother Mary statue with baby Jesus. And I got it years ago from one of my best friends, Roberta. And the rosary that's on it is my grandma, my mom's mom, Grandma Georgiana Malone. She bought all of her grandkids rosaries, so they would each have one. And green was my grandma's favorite color too, and this is the one that she got me, so that's why it's hanging around there. So this is from Roberta, who I'm gonna have as a guest one of these days. And then this sympathy card, I think I only got 2 cards when my dad passed away, and this is one of them. And it is from Jackie and Steve, like Jackie, my husband's partner for Feathers Academy, and her husband's name is Steve as well. So that card, but the cool thing is that card matches this statue, which is the only thing that I got when my dad passed away, but it's from one of my best friends, Trish, and it matches the card. So I'll just put that close. Oh, actually it's backwards, so I'll read it to you. Perhaps they are not stars, but rather openings where our loved ones shine down to let us know they are happy. And so since my dad passed 4 years ago, and I got this when I went back for his funeral from Trish, when I got back, I put it in this cabinet with the card that matches. And like I said, I just put lights in a couple days ago, so this is the first time that it's been lit up like that. And yeah, so it's about friends today. And who I'm having on today is my best friend growing up, Rachel, and I'm going to get her to join now. I think she's already sent me a request to join. Hi, Uncle Henry. All right, Rachel, I hope you're ready. What? Rachel, send it again. Oh my goodness. And I thought I would wear, I don't really like gold or yellow, gold or brass, but I thought this would be good for friends too. And plus, like I said, I'm trying to wear different outfits and different jewelry so that I can get rid of some of my stuff. I can't see if it's just black eyes. I was trying to see if they were green, but yeah, that, and I got little gold earrings on. Okay, Rachel's gonna just sign off and then sign on again and try that. So we will stay tuned. This is technology. And there we go. It says adding, so I'm not frozen. I'm just waiting for it to connect. So me and Rachel met when she was 10 and I was 11, playing softball, like hardball, fastball. It's like baseball, but with a bigger ball, but it's still fastball. And we were on the same team. And we were friends since. And so the season is in the spring for community ball, because for summer holidays, people would usually go away and stuff like that. So unless you made it to like cities or provincials or anything, like, like to play on to the higher levels in the tournaments and stuff, you didn't play during the summer. So it was just the spring, and Rachel's birthday is June 30th. So that was one of the first things that we did hanging out, was her birthday party. It was only like 2 of us. And my sister Melody said, how did you see her with your eyes closed? And that's just a joke. Well, it's kind of a joke, but it's also true. I used to bat with my eyes closed because I was scared of the ball. So, but yeah, so at her birthday party, it was like me and one other friend, and we had a sleepover at her house, and it was fun. And we were friends ever since. And we spent so much time together. We were like, every day we were at her place or at my place. We were always together if we could be. We went to different schools, which was probably good, because there was a few times in our life where we would get sick of each other if we spent too much time together. But like if she would come camping with us and we were together for 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, and then, needed a few days break. But for the most part, from when we first met until she moved up to, until we were young adults, I'd say that we didn't spend as much time together, but for years we were always together. So most of my family and friends from that period will remember Rachel, definitely. I'm going to try this again.
Okay.
You're joined now.
Yes. Okay.
You're like, am I joined now?
Yeah. And then it popped up.
Okay, I'm going to try. Oh, I'm a little bit. Now that I've described my whole background thing, I was going to sit normally, but I need to bring this down more. All right. So how are you?
Good. Good. I got some housework done. Yay.
Yeah, it's Sunday, so from the weekend, if you don't have to work, then you get housework done. I know I didn't do any laundry, but
yeah, I've got laundry going now too. So
I have loads in the washer and in the dryer. I just haven't, they're from yesterday. I haven't changed them over today yet.
Yes, I do that all the time.
Melody says she sees you and she misses you. Can you see your comments?
Yeah. Yeah, me too, Mel. I know I'll have to drive into the city and go for a walk or something.
Oh, right. I was like, what? I can't go for, what are you talking about? But for those of you who don't understand what Rachel just said either, she lives outside of Edmonton where we grew up now. So she's saying about driving in and going for a walk with Melody. Yeah, well, Mel lives right by Beaumaris Lake too, so you guys can walk around the lake.
Yes. Yeah, that would be good. And I don't know. I could take my dog too, I guess. He'd like that.
Yes.
But
Melody says she's done. She just has to fold the clothes. I have a system, so it goes from the washing machine into the dryer, and then the stuff from the dryer goes on top because I have a board across. Like it's like an old countertop.
oh
So
yeah.
the stuff from the dryer goes up on top, and then usually I try to fold it right away and then put it. I have a corner shelf, and then the shelves are like for each kid, and they have like these, you know, the big IKEA bags. You can get the yellow ones for shopping while you're in IKEA, but you can buy the blue ones to take your stuff home.
Oh, okay.
We found those to be like the best. Like the kids, because they have handles, they drag them up, like take them upstairs with their clean laundry and bring down their dirty laundry in them, and they're soft, so they stack. You know, if you have like bags of laundry to do and stuff. So then I just put their clean clothes into their shelves as I do it, or I just keep the pile might get bigger and bigger on top of the dryer, but then I know clean clothes are on the counter and dirty clothes are on the floor.
Oh yeah, my system is not as good. Thanks, Mel, and I won't push you in. I just fold my clothes, and then the laundry baskets tend to stay downstairs, and then the kids are, where's my clothes? Where's my clothes? And then I send them downstairs.
Yeah, and then do they dig through it? Do they make a mess though, or do they do it
Oh,
nicely?
Yeah. No, they make a big mess.
The kids will do that with this stuff too. I take the time to fold it and put it in these bags, and whether they go into the laundry room and dig through it and look for stuff, or they take it to their room, and you know, it's like, well, what's the point in even folding it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. And then I'm like, okay, bring this stuff up to your room. And Leland will put his stuff in his drawers and stuff, but not very nice. He just kind of just, you know, whoever has boys will understand.
Yeah, well, it takes time. Actually,
Yeah.
Thomas has gotten a lot better, but he's 19 now, so took a while.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the girls sharing a room with all three of them sharing a room. I don't sort their clothes. It's all the girls' clothes in one blue bag, and when that gets full, they need to take it up. And but I thought that a system that would work better for them in the room is that there's these big blue tubs that we have, and they have wheels. And I said, there's three of them, so I put them in the room, and I said, okay, well, the bags need to be sorted, and then put the clean clothes into the tubs. If you're not going to hang everything in the wardrobes and put everything in your drawers, just put them in those blue tubs. That way I can come in the room and say, oh, Erica, you haven't put away your clothes, you know, instead of saying the bags, oh, it's mostly Aurora's clothes in the bag, it's not mine. But it doesn't work. There's still clothes everywhere. And
Yeah. I hate laundry. If I would rather scrub toilets than do laundry.
Really? Yeah, but that
Yeah.
I knew that runs in your family. You guys weren't. I mean, you guys would do. You guys had so much clothes, and so it would get clean, but it wasn't always folded and put away either when you were growing up.
Yes.
And Melody said Brett does his own laundry, and Brock doesn't put it away. It's everywhere. All the kids know how to do their own laundry. The problem is that, again, with me and my OCD and my systems. So I don't know if you remember my mom when like how she would sort it into color piles and everything else. So it's the same thing. If I can, I sort them into piles and I have them ready to go into the washing machine. So it's a really easy system, right? From the floor into the washing machine to the dryer, to the top. And then if you fold it, you put it in, put it away. Very easy system. Well, the kids will go through dirty clothes to find things, and my piles are all over the place. And then if I ask them to do a load, it gets, and I'm like, is this clean or dirty? Why is there dirty stuff up on top of on the counter, and the clean stuff is falling off and sticking out everywhere? Or, you know, when they take something out of the dryer and then three of the clean things are on the ground. And
yeah,
so it's not that they can't do it, it's just that they interfere with my system. So there's a post that I did a couple days ago. And Steve said there hasn't been a more honest post. It said, me, I need help around here. And then also me, no, you're not doing it right here. Just let me do it.
Yes. Yeah, I do that too. But I told Leland today, I was like, you know what? You can be responsible for your own clothes. Like, it's not going to hurt you to do that.
I do that when they ask for things. When I say, I'm not responsible for your hoodie. You find it.
Yeah.
So tell the audience how old your children are.
Leland is 15 and Ashlyn is 13.
And that sounds fun, doesn't it, everyone?
Yeah. I don't know how you do it with 3 girls, Lisa. I got one, and she's dramatic enough.
No, see, boys are more rambunctious and everything, and girls are just more drama. This, I don't know. I don't know. You just do it, but it's a busy house. I think growing up in a busy house is and actually growing up like in our house is one way, but then growing up like at your house as well showed me like a different way of, like, because you just assume everybody lives like you do until you start going
Yeah.
into other people's worlds and you're like, wait, that's not how we do it. So I think it helps
Yeah.
me, like, oh, Allison is like you when we were growing up. You remember like your binder of poems, how like pages were
Yeah.
sticking out and things were crumpled, and I was just like, can I just type them out? And you're like, no, because I don't want anyone reading them. And I'm like, I don't even care about reading them. I just want to type them out so they're nice and neat. And you're like, no. But everybody has their own way, and I have to get like Allison with her drawings and everything just sticking out everywhere, and it drives me crazy. And like she'll get like a stack of nice paper and then draw something, and then for some reason there's another stack of paper, and then in between the good papers there's some drawings that, like, nothing's organized, and it drives me insane. But
Yeah.
like I said, growing up and being in other people's houses, you realize that there's other ways to do things, and you got to respect that everyone's not going to be like you.
Yeah.
And
Hi, Tana.
so Samantha likes the photo of my dad, and she said hi to my dad, and Melody said that sounds like me. Oops. All right. So, okay. So go on. Tell me what friendship means to you and some of your favorite memories, and I'll let you do some of the talking because I can ramble forever.
Okay, so friendship is having somebody that you can be yourself with. It doesn't matter what kind of day you're having, and you can like say or do whatever, and they're still going to be your friend. There's no judgment, and
Oh no, we judge.
I think, well, you know what I mean.
But we still love each other after we judge.
Yes, and just somebody, I think just somebody you can be yourself with, and just have, you can have like the silly like conversations that are like just whatever, and then you can have like the deep conversations, and I think that changes as you grow too, right? So, and just somebody that's going to be there, it doesn't matter. And forgiveness, I think, because we all make mistakes, we do shitty things, and it's, you know, you feel bad and you just hope that you can get that forgiveness. And yeah, so I don't know, I just, for memories, I just being at your place all the time and going camping. And now that Leland's 15, I've told him a couple times a story about how I got drunk at your house and you weren't there, Lisa. Well,
okay, for
reference,
your mom. For reference, we need to, like, I still don't drink very much, and I never actually got drunk until after my 18th birthday, not even on my 18th birthday. I just didn't like the taste of alcohol, and it just didn't. And I think it's also like partly because I'm controlling, although, so I like to be in control of myself, but like there was a phase in my 20s where I like having a couple drinks where you get to that happy feeling, and then I stop, and I'm lucky that I have that. But
yeah, well, I remember we would go to the bar and you'd be like, I'm just going to do shots. And then that was like, you would do a few shots at the beginning of the night, and then you were good for the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
okay, so tell us about, and Melody says her sister Melody was the best. And so I'm guessing that this Rachel getting drunk for the first time might have to do with Melody.
Yeah, I think I was doing your paper route or something while you were camping, or I don't remember where you were, but I know Mel, I don't.
So wait, again, so that means that my parents, say we were camping, that means my parents and me, like everybody was away. It was just Melody at home.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mel was old enough, because I think she was already like at least 17 or 18 if I was 42.
No, how old were you?
Oh, sorry. I think I was like 14 or 15. I don't remember. And then I remember like it was 19 fun.
Or 20.
Yeah, and then I think the only reason why your parents found out is because I threw up on the rug. And that's, yeah, so and I find too, a lot of the stories that I tell the kids are about like at your house, or like just, you know, they don't know everything yet.
No. Because there wasn't iPhones and stuff then. That's so, like, we didn't get everything recorded, and so some things.
Yes. Yeah. So there's some things that I'm like, oh geez, when should I tell Ashlyn about this thing or that thing, or tell the kids, like, do they really want to know about shenanigans?
I know. Here's one of our, like, she has to go to bed, so just saying goodnight.
Hi.
Rachel.
Hi. Well, yeah, it's late there.
Yeah. Okay. And they have, like, they don't technically, like, they have homeschooling in the morning, so they still have to go to bed at school time, bedtimes.
Yeah.
Can you go to 12? I love you. Yeah, I know. Samantha, I remember Alex getting very drunk on vodka at his house when he was 13. He told his mom that I brought the vodka, and it was only this Christmas that she found out. Found out I didn't. So Alex is Samantha's better half. I mean, other half. She's the better half. Yeah, so Samantha's other half, Alex, and I didn't even realize, Samantha, that you guys knew each other, like, when you were that young, because I think Samantha's 34 now. I know she's younger than, she's my best friend over here, but she's younger than me. But when you get older, the age thing doesn't seem like, I mean, even Steve, lots of times I don't even remember like, it's like 14 years between us. But the only time it really comes up is if when I say, oh, I remember what I was doing in 1992, and he'll say something, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't remember that. I was 2. And he would be like,
yeah,
16. Or music.
Yeah.
Sometimes with music, you can tell, like, that we're not from the same generation.
Right.
But other than that,
in music,
age doesn't seem like. So what were you gonna say? Sorry.
I was gonna say, and probably him growing up over there too, some of his music tastes might have been different, even if you guys were the same age.
Yeah, that's true. We do talk about like some of the things that are different, and because a lot of times he'll be like, what, he'll say, what, you've never heard of this person? And I'm like, no, it wasn't big in Canada, I don't even know what you're talking about, or vice versa. So
yeah. And age, I don't know, Brenda, like, one of my friends is watching Brenda, so our mutual friend Crystal, like, her and Crystal are best friends, and I'm not sure how many years, but there's quite a few years difference. So for them, it doesn't matter, they're besties, and I think there's like 16 years difference between them.
Well, we were talking about this. Okay, so Samantha said that her and Alex dated from when they were 12 to 17, then split up. And then now that she is 34, and they've been together for quite a while. They have a daughter, Danielle, who's 2, and almost 3, actually. This spring she'll be 3. And then they had a baby who passed away at birth. That was just after Christmas. Or was it right before Christmas? Sorry, my brain is, I want to say November, but I can't remember now. And so then also you were saying about the age difference. Okay, so we were just talking about this, you and I, because we were kind of texting back and forth before, like, a few hours ago when we were talking about going on the live. And then I said, save it, because then we could talk about all this stuff now. But you were talking about how Crystal and what was her friend's name? Christine?
Brenda.
Oh, Brenda and Crystal.
No, another friend.
Another friend, but Christine. So Brenda and Crystal,
yeah,
the age difference, it doesn't matter, because you have, like, these soul connections where you meet someone and you just know these are the type of people that you want in your life. The funny thing, I want to say something about this, especially for young people, and me, like, being boy crazy. I used to think that I needed to date everyone. So you would have this, like, attraction to someone, and then you would feel like, so I'd have attraction to a boy, and I'd think, oh my gosh, I must need to date him. I must be in love with him because I feel so strongly. But it's funny how, like, because I am just, what's the word for straight? Like, not like heterosexual. Yeah. So I never had the same thing for a woman. Like, if I met a girl, I'm like, ooh, I want to be her friend. Like, I would have this, like, desire to be her friend, but I wouldn't be like, ooh, I need to make out with her. And yet I thought that about boys, but I think that's a mistake. I think you don't necessarily have a crush on the person. It's just somebody who you like their energy and you want them in your life. So now as adults, we can do that. We can have guy friends or have girlfriends and know that those are people we want to keep in our lives. But when we're younger, you think like, oh, I need to be with this person. And really it's not that you need to be with them. You need to, you just want them in your life.
Right. And then it's too, like what we were saying, like there's like different people that, you know, like I was saying about some of the friends that I had when we had our babies all around the same time, and we were like close, like we did stuff together all the time. And some of them I don't really talk to anymore. And it took a while to be like, well, that's not, like, you know, what did I do or whatever. Now I'm like, well, no, like they were just, for that time, we all needed each other, and we got through because we were all, none of us were born and raised in high level. Like we were all like just people that lived in high levels. So we bonded and then got through being away from our families and stuff while having young kids. And I don't know if, I mean, I would have gotten through it, but I don't know if it would have been as easy to get through it, just to have those people to have that connection with.
Yeah, and it's like you said,
yeah.
because you said that you guys, none of you were really from high level, but you all joined and were there for that time. And now I know you don't live in high level anymore. I'm not sure if they do or not, but it is like that. Because I've thought about that with moving, like how every time I moved further from Edmonton. But even living in Saskatchewan, one of my best friends from Saskatchewan was actually from the Maritimes, and she moved back to the Maritimes before I moved out here. And then some of my best friends, like in life too, are from Ontario that I've met. I actually met them on the internet. And then even moving out here, because I think now, hi Ali, I haven't seen you in like forever.
Yeah, hi Ali. Yeah.
So moving out here to the UK, I think that too, like say for some reason I moved back to Canada, like Samantha and Steve's family and all the people that I would have to leave here, I would miss so much. But it's the same thing like in Canada. So it is like people are in our lives for a reason or a season or like, and I'm so grateful to technology that because I have those friends that I want in my life, instead of being in a small town and having to be friends with whoever's there, like in like say 100 years ago, now we can choose those people who we want in our life and have those connections. I can have video chats like this with you when we're hours apart and so many miles apart or kilometers apart. And yet we can have these conversations so we can really keep the people that we want close. And yet what we were talking about is it seems to be this like small circle. So we had these certain people in our lives when we were younger and everything else, especially going to a school. Like I went to the same school for 10 years and then you moved when you were 9, 10?
I'm 10 when we moved to Edmonton.
But then you went to Ball when you went for 3 years and then you went to the well, no, you went to different high schools, but you know, so those are probably the most important years, like in junior high, grade 7, 8, 9, those people. And it was like, it wasn't a mistake, the people you went to school with. So I went to a high school of like almost 2,000 people. And I said this to you that I'm friends now with some of them who I knew in passing, but I didn't know them in high school, but I know them now. So we went from like having small connections to, you know, you have all these jobs and you have all these things and you meet all these people and like thousands of people that we know if we wrote down a name of every person that we know or met. And Facebook did. I used to think I needed to be friends with everybody that I ever met on Facebook. So I tried to like, I remember them from that 1 hour conversation I had with them 17 years ago and add them. But now I'm finding as I get older, my circle is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And some of those people who are in that circle are like those key people who are like in it from the, you know, junior high or from like places where it's like, oh, those are my soul connections. Those are my group that I stay with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and even so like my friend Crystal that I mentioned before, like, so she moved to Spruce Grove a couple of years later after we moved down when we first lived in like outside of Barhead. So we like reconnected and stuff like that. And then we saw each other and then like life happened for her. And then now her boyfriend is from just like now she lives like 10 minutes away from me. So, or 15 minutes away. And so her boyfriend is a police officer and then he knows some of the same people that we know, and then his partner is actually somebody that Jason, his best man, so it was his best man's brother at our wedding that Crystal's boyfriend is, they're like partners at work.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, it's so interesting, like, and who would have thought that, yeah, like we met each other in high level, but I'm like, I mean, we don't see each other much now because of COVID and life and stuff like that, but we still talk every once in a while. And when we can see each other, it's really easy because it's like a 15-minute drive, if that.
And technology now too, like internet and.
Yes, and I find even with my kids, like, so I guess it would have been 3 years. And so Leland played spring hockey, and he played with one boy on his team. Like, they didn't really like talk much while they were playing hockey, but they started talking through Xbox, and now they're like the best of friends. Like, it's really neat to see their friendship grow, and being males, right? Like, I've never, like, my brother was older than me, so I didn't see his friendships develop or whatever. I didn't care because I just was worried about how hot they were, his friends, right? So yeah, like, it's really neat to see them together, because they're like little girls when they see each other. Like, they're so giddy and just happy to be together. And then same with Ashlyn, like, she's met so many friends just through different interest groups, right? Like, she's really into, well, she not as much now, but like One Direction and like 5 Seconds of Summer and stuff like that. So just through different groups, like, she's made some good friends too.
You want to know something interesting about 5 Seconds of Summer? So when we first moved here, like, we live in a town called Middlewich, and there's a Subway here. So we went to Subway, and there was these guys in the parking lot, young boys, like, whatever. I mean, I thought the girls might think they were cute, but there was these other girls there, and they were acting all weird. And they were like, wow, they're like like, honestly, there was only like about 3 or 4 girls, and then there was like however many boys, like 4 or 5 boys, whatever. And just the way they were acting, we were like, oh, they must be someone or something. So we looked them up, and we found out they were 5 Seconds of Summer and whatever. But we didn't, I thought after, like literally after, I thought, oh, we should have got a picture with them, like got the girls to stand with them for a picture, because what happens if they become famous one day or something? But yeah, and so now it's like, oh, you hear about them all the time. And we're like, oh yeah, we saw them in the parking lot when we first moved here, but we didn't pay them any attention because they're little boys.
Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah,
so that's a cool connection. But yeah, and Harry Styles is from right around here too.
I know. Ashlyn's like, Mom, maybe we can go and visit Lisa.
Yeah, I don't think he ever comes back here. Actually, I think the last time I've ever heard a rumor of him being back here was when he was dating Taylor Swift, and they were walking down, like, what, in Canada they call them the main streets. Here it's like the high street in the town.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, so I guess they were spotted walking down the high street together because he was showing her where he was from when they dated, and that was so many years ago. So
yeah. And it's so funny because Ashlyn, sometimes she'll say something, and I was like, oh, you sound exactly like I did when I was your age. Then I told her about how we would be like at the lake, and we'd be out in with our life jackets. Oh, what if the Osmond boys came here? Like, yeah.
So speaking of friendships and old connections and stuff, we were talking about. So Amber's my adopted little sister. She was raised in our home a lot of the time. Rachel just was there, but Amber actually needed to be there when she was younger.
I was the latchkey, yeah.
Because my mom babysat her and stuff. But so she's like my dog. So she considers my mom her mom, and then the woman who gave birth to her, she still sees her and has a relationship with her, but she just called her biological mom. But she considered my mom her mom. So I thought, if she considers my mom her mom, then I kind of have to consider her my sister, right? So she just became part of our family to the point that she's in some of our family photos. But she's actually my sister Tina's best friend. So they call each other bisters. They're best friends and sisters. But okay, so this is going to go around in a circle. So Amber is like my adopted little sister, but Amber also has a sister, Yvonne, who's a couple years younger than her, and also our families became close. So Larry, their dad, raised them alone, the 2 girls, and so we're so Yvonne. So if Amber is 5 years younger than me, and Yvonne is a few years younger than her. That's like 7 years. Now I have a friend that I've known since grade 3. So for, people who don't know grades, that's like 6, 7, 8. So about age 8. So him and I have been friends since we were 8. And I think he's a year older than me as well. So now we're talking 8-year gap, right? So at that time in elementary and junior high and stuff, that would have been a huge gap. You wouldn't even have looked at somebody 8 years younger than you. So somebody starting kindergarten, you're not even in that school anymore. And but at the gym, Amber and Corey were going to the same gym. And then one day, Corey was introduced to Yvonne, Amber's sister, and said, why have you been hiding your sister from me? And they've been together over 2 years now. And it's just that whole connection. So one of my best friends growing up and my adopted sister's little sister, now the age gap isn't as big, and they just are. So two people who matter so much to me, and they're together now. It's like, I get to keep them in the group. Like, you know what I mean? And keep them. So we've talked about that as well. And then we talked about another friend of mine who I've had since I was friends with since I was 13, who's my auntie and uncle's neighbor. And he lived 4.5 hours away. And then Aisha, who you went to junior high with, but I was friends with as well. They met camping somewhere out of Edmonton, and they've been together for, I don't know, probably over 7 years or more, because they were together. It was when I had the restaurant, but I was closing the restaurant. So yeah, like probably 8 years ago. So they've been together like that. Because I remember having a conversation with Daryl, and he said he met someone, and he was like, no, I really like her. Like, I think this is going good, and da-da-da. And then he said the name, and I was like, what? Aisha? Like, that's not a common name. And then we put it all together, and I was like, that's so weird. But again, it's like keeping those connections like close, and like, so that's what we were talking about, like small world, and how we can be connected all over the place.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny, I guess just this being in this area too, like we're going to run into a lot of people that Jason went to school with and stuff, but there's like, when Leland played hockey in Gibbons, there was like some dads that Jason played hockey with or knew from hockey, and like even just being around here, like it's just, but I don't know, it's just weird to think that there's just so many connections, whether or not we're back here or not, right?
Right. And well, I say like, I'm not with Michael anymore. I love Steve, and if me and Michael hadn't split up, I wouldn't have got to be with Steve. So I'm grateful for the divorce. I'm grateful for that we split up, but I'm also grateful that Michael gave me 3 children, which means Steve don't want to have any more children, not because we wouldn't want to have children with each other, but because we're older now, and I couldn't even imagine starting now, let alone the fact that we already have 100 kids. So, but I'm grateful to Michael for giving me those kids. And this is another one of those weird stories. So Melody, when she was living on her own, raising her son, Breton, she, my cousin April, who will tell the story now that where April lives, but April's moved around a bit. Like she's even lived in Australia and everything else. But at this time in life, she was living in Edmonton, going to school in Edmonton, and needed a place to stay. So she was staying with my sister Melody, and she brought home a study buddy. So innocent enough, brings home a study buddy. His name is Jason. And so Jason meets Melody and Breton, and Melody and Jason hit it off. But it wasn't one of those things like, oh, when do I introduce him to my son? Because it was innocent. He already met. So, and they were together for years, and they had Brock, my nephew. But this is a weird thing. So Jason is actually from up by Grand Prairie, like in a smaller town like Beaver Lodge and Hythe, and Jason went to school with Michael. So while I was with Michael and Melody was with Jason, they knew each other from high school, way up in like it's so. And now those are our children, who are cousins, and their biological dads went to school together. Oh wow! And then we'll go back to the April thing. So April, who again moves around quite a bit. Now April's living out near the town. The reason that Rachel lives out by Redwater is because that's where her husband Jason is from. And April has now moved out to Redwater because that's where her job is. And
is she living?
Oh no, sorry, she's living in Edmonton, but she works out in Redwater.
But she's working
are the kids going to school in Redwater, or are they going to school in Edmonton? I can't remember. But anyways,
I
it's a
have no
connection.
idea.
So yeah, it's weird. I'm assuming all
Yeah.
these people that I see signing on and watching are like your people.
Oh yeah, and I keep on forgetting to say hi. Hi, my people.
I know I do that too, but I wanted to like because people can watch it later, so I want to make it look like you know, it's like, oh, we have one viewer. Like then it sounds like why am I? Especially if I'm on by myself, it's like, oh, I'm talking to all these people. It's like one viewer. And so the other day I was thinking, oh yeah, hi everyone, and acting like there was like all these people on, and then somebody said because they can see it too, so they're like, oh yeah, you have like 3 people watching, and I'm like, oh, how embarrassing. So I just so sometimes if I say hi to everybody as they start watching, it gives away that there's not very many people watching. Because if we had like hundreds of people watching, I wouldn't be able to say hi to all of them.
Right.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, I know. I just keep on. Yeah, one day.
This is my practice. This is my practice for. Do you know? I do question probably every week if I should keep doing these or not. And I mean, again, it's like anything that you see in posting. You know those few friends you have on Facebook who you like, you want them still in your life, but at the same time, you can't stand the stuff they post. You just like skim over it. You're like, ugh. If you weren't, you know, if you weren't important, I would delete you. But I feel that way too. So if people don't want to watch this, they don't have to watch this. It's not like it takes over everybody's Facebook and they have to put up with this for an hour. But but every time I'm done, I get feedback from 1 or 2 people and they love this. Or like, I know Melody is one of my biggest fans. So even when I posted that I was going to be on in a few hours, she wrote, can't wait, you know, and Samantha is one of my biggest fans and Maxine watches lots. And, you know, like there's just, so, you know, so it, and I have people like you and other friends, like Roberta was going to be on today, but it fell through. So she's going to be on another week and other people who I'm going to have as guests. So I keep getting told that that people are happy that I'm doing these, but then it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like I said, I question it all the time. Why am I talking like live to people if nobody's listening?
I know it's hard because you don't know are people going to watch, and sometimes I'm like, I would like to do that too, but I'm like, what am I going to talk about for an hour, or is anybody going to watch? And I mean, it's different talking to you, but like I've done like some videos or like even for school like presentations and stuff, and I just get nervous and I like flub my words all the time, and I'm like, can I do it? And I think I could. It's just doing it.
That's why I call
and just finding something to talk about.
Yeah, I call these ones practice because they don't have to be professional, but maybe I am going to do something like this, you know, in a year or something, and I'm getting it all out of the way now, doing the, you know, or the silent things. And also that's why I like, Melody said lots of people watch later. I like to think that I watch the viewers go up and I'm like, ooh, honey, 121 views. And Steve's like, yeah, but 50 of those are you watching yourself again. But practicing, what was I going to say? You said, I don't remember, lost it.
That's hi Ranger.
Is that the dog?
Yeah, I had my door closed a little bit and then he just like came in to check on me. I'm just gonna close the door because I'm sure everybody doesn't want to hear me talking, and I don't want to hear everybody else.
Yeah, it's hard for me to decide what room to be in because every room there's going to be somebody who wants to use it. Like I'm in the living room right now, but that means nobody can watch TV in here right now. But Allison's in the office, Erica's gone to bed, and Aurora was in the kitchen because she had to do her dishes, but I'm not sure where Aurora is now. And Steve's watching football. So, but I
think Jason's watching hockey right now.
Yeah, because NHL's on.
Yeah. So, we should embarrass our kids right now.
Okay.
Aurora and Leland.
Oh yeah, but we predicted that. We said that we were gonna have kids the same age so they could get married. So they don't know it yet because they're like 15. Leland's 15. They're like 2 days apart. Yeah. Or is Leland's birthday October 2nd?
No, his is September 28th.
Oh yeah, so he's 2 days ahead. I always forget that for some reason. So his is October 28th, and I mean September 28th, and Aurora's is September 30th. So they're 2 days apart. But you and I said that when we were kids and daydreaming about how our lives are going to be, And everything else, we said that we were going to have kids the same age and they were going to get married. So they might be 15 right now and think they can date whoever they want, but they don't realize that we've already arranged their marriage.
Well, and they liked each other when you guys came down. Like,
yeah, they did, and that was cool.
yes,
Even if they live worlds away, it was cool that they had a connection, because we never incited that. We never pushed them together and said you have to like this person.
Yeah, yeah. And then I think they while you guys were still in Canada, they like FaceTimed or whatever for a little bit, and then I think they tried a little bit when you guys went back, but Leland's like the time difference, so
yeah. And it's like that though. Like they might just stay in contact, and like maybe Leland after school, like after high school, wants to backpack across Europe or something, and Aurora's out here, so she's like, oh, I'll meet you in Spain or whatever. You just never know how life's going to turn out, and it could be that they're just really good friends. But as we talked about earlier in the episode, the circles and everything, it is really cool that we do have kids the same age and that they do have a connection.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of neat to see, because we weren't like, oh yeah, I don't even think we like said anything. I think I just said, well, the girls are close to your age, like the two older ones, and he's like, oh, but he never like was like, oh, is she hot or anything like that, like, but that was what, they were 13 when.
Well, yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But you know what my favorite part of that memory is too, and I can post the pictures later because they're on Facebook, but I can repost them. But my favorite trip, I mean, when I went back to Canada 2 years ago, you and me and our other friend Trish, who had a daughter Georgia at around the same time as well, we took these pictures of when they were babies. We took pictures of them together on the floor. And then we those when you remake the pictures, and we did that. Yeah. But like the fact that they're like 13-year-olds and they still were up for it, especially a 13-year-old boy who you wouldn't think that he'd be like up for it, and so we recreated those pictures on the floor, and they're so awesome. And of course we added them to Facebook because that's kind of parents we are.
Yeah, I know now the kids are like, are you gonna put it on Facebook? Don't put it on Facebook. I'm like, no, like some pictures I'm going to put on Facebook. Like I won't put like super embarrassing ones or anything, but I try to ask them now if it's okay.
Yeah, well, what I do now too usually is that I don't tag them in it.
Yeah.
So if they want to be tagged in it, they can tag it themselves, but I don't tag them in very many, but I still add them. So, but you know what was weird, and I don't know if this has happened to you, but like one day I went to Erica's parent-teacher thing at school, and then you go into their classrooms and you look at their work and what they're doing, and she had this one book. And on the front of it is a picture of me, and it was like all the things that mean something to her or whatever. And there's a picture of me, and she got it from the internet. And then that's when the kids were telling me, "Oh yeah, Mom, we Google you." And so it's so weird that they at school put in your name and are Googling and looking up your things with their friends, especially when they're younger. And you're just like, you forget that footprint. The internet footprint is up there. And like you said, like we said before, thank goodness I didn't have that when we were younger.
I know. Oh my gosh. I could only imagine as teenagers, like what we might have posted.
And I have no filter. So I want to get my journals published. So that just tells you what I would have put on the internet. And and I even have that now where what age do I let the girls read my journals, and how far do I let them read up until their age? Like, so Allison is 17 now. Should I let her read up until 17 or like, so Aurora reading my stuff earlier or at 15, is that going to help her to identify that, oh, somebody else was like this too, even, that many years ago? Or is it going to be like, holy shit, Mom did this, so I'm not going to feel bad if I do that?
Yes, that's what I meant by earlier. Like, at what point do I like tell the kids some of the things that
I think it comes up when it's supposed to, but again, because I have boundary issues, sometimes I'm an oversharer. And thank goodness that for that reason that I have, like, my biological ones are girls, because I'm a girl, because like Thomas already can be uncomfortable with some of the things I'm talking about, but imagine if he was my biological son and I was like, so my vagina when you were born.
But you know what? Yes, I know, but sometimes, like, I don't know, some might agree, but some of the things that are said in this house, some people might be like, really, you're saying that stuff in front of your kids? But at the same time, I'm like, but it's an open conversation, so that if they have that comfort with us, if they do need to talk to us about things,
I'm really glad that
then it's there.
households are like that now, because I'm glad to hear that yours is like that and ours is like that too, with both me and Steve. And sometimes the girls have their most intimate, deepest conversations with him instead of me. And I think that's good, because I, again, have the boundary issues and that kind of stuff. He has this, like, he's the first man who taught me how to respect myself and that I was worth more. And not that other people didn't try and instill that in me, and my parents and my friends and stuff like that, but there's just something about him. So if I knew men like him existed before, I would have never dated anybody else. I would have looked for that standard, but I didn't know that they really existed, even though my dad was one of those men. But I thought they were like that rare. But so I want him to instill that in the girls, so they have some great conversations with him. But yeah, the opening, so that happened with Erica. Erica was really upset. The teachers called me because Erica's like an empath, and she's like very, most of the time she's happy and everything else, although she's 12 right now, so she's going through the normal, like, you know, drama, teenage stuff, but she's always been quite happy. And the teachers were concerned because she seemed to be stressed and had a lot weighing on her mind and everything else. And I've always told the kids since they were younger that you need to find people that you trust to talk to, whether, you know, like Auntie Tina, somebody who's not me. If you don't want to talk to me, that's okay, but you need to talk to somebody. So counselors, adults who you trust and you like the way that they make you feel when you're around them and everything else. So you have people to talk to so you can get those things out. So anyways, the teacher called me, and then I had this conversation with Erica, and I said, you know, if you need to talk to Auntie Tina, and I went over the whole thing again. And she's like, Mom, why would I do that? I don't even want to talk to you about it. And I was like, what do you mean? You would talk to me about it? And she's like, yeah, I would talk to you about it before I would talk to anybody else. And I thought that, like, that's awesome. I mean, me and Allison have some conversations where, and I'm not trying to be their friend. I know I'm their mom. I'm not one of those ones where, oh, they're my best friends, and, you know, I'm trying to be 16. But I also think, like you said, open communication is really important. And I love that they have that, where they feel like they can come to us and talk to us. And again, everybody does things differently. So if they don't like the way that we do something, then they can talk to other people about that and say, like, this is how my parents do it. Is this normal? Is this, like, I think this is unfair? And other people might say, like, no, that's how it's supposed to be, or that's how it's, or they might say, no, that's kind of crazy. You need to talk to your parents about that. And if they come to us, and like Steve said to them too, if you can come to us and tell us why you think a rule is unfair, then we'll look at it. We'll see if it makes a change.
Yeah. Well, Ashlyn and Leland, like, they both tell me things that I'm like, I don't think I ever would have said that to my mom.
Oh my gosh. So this is like an overshare, but the first time I told my mom, you were there. The first time I told my mom that I was sexually active. Do you remember that? Okay.
Kind of.
So we were standing in the doorway of the downstairs bedroom, the one near the bathroom. And I was an older teenager, and I went to tell my mom, and instead of going like this away from you, and I can't remember who else was sitting in my room, Teresa, I think. So yeah, so I was like almost an adult, and instead of going like this, I went like this and said, Mom, I'm sexually active. And then you guys started laughing, and then she started laughing, and I was like, Mom, and I shut the door. I'm like, Mom, this is serious. And she's like, oh, I knew. And I was like, what do you mean you knew? She's like, mothers know. And I was like,
yeah.
Like, oh my God, I was trying to be so serious, and then my mom's laughing. And I'm not saying it's like a laughing matter. You want you don't want your teenagers. I mean, you want them to wait till they're 30, but if they don't, then you want them to be safe. And, you know, like, but it was an awkward. So I think, like you said, some things that you wouldn't tell your parents then, and most kids wouldn't have told their parents that. And even for me, who doesn't get embarrassed or doesn't have trouble saying things, that was a huge thing for me to try and say to my mom. And it was such an awkward moment, but funny now. But
well, I remember telling my mom I needed the pill, and she's like, why? I'm like, oh, my period. And my face, she's like, you're lying, your face is so red. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Even the fact that, like, the why, like, but it's good that you were able to see. Some people will take it both ways. They'll say, like, well, you were a teenager, you shouldn't have needed it because you shouldn't be sexually active. But at the same time, if you're going to be anyways, then it's good that you felt like you could go to your mom and say, like, listen, Mom, I want to be, I'm probably going to be. I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and, like, find whoever. It's just that if I'm going to be, I want to be safe about it. I want to be smart about it.
Yeah. Right. And I saw that Jeanette was watching, so it was when I met Jason.
Obviously. Although you and Jason have been together since you were like 18 or 19 or 20. I don't know. You guys,
18.
yeah. So.
Yeah.
Come on. I know I'm on the dog's bed. Come on.
Oh.
Well, her part of the couch, I should say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, Lena? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Aw.
You want me off of here, don't you? What?
I don't read. Our dog is so cute when the kids are in their rooms and they have their door closed. He'll like go and whine at their door, and then he'll like go jump on their bed to hang out with them.
There has been times where we've like knocked on Thomas's door and opened the door and the dog's lying on the bed with him and we're like, what is happening here? Because she's not allowed upstairs and that's where the bedrooms are. Because she's a German Shepherd, so you know we don't want her to have hip problems, but also like but sometimes she'll sneak up there. What? Stop the grumbling. Yeah. It's funny because so many times she'll talk like this and I try to record her and it doesn't work because you know when it's like kids when you're like, okay, do it for the camera, and they don't do it anymore. But so now I'm glad that she's done it on camera because she's so sweet.
Yes, I know. I have to get my Ranger was so cute this morning. I like I was on the couch and then he like just nestled his, like he was on the floor sitting, but then he like nestled his face into my elbow like to give me a hug back because I was hugging him. Yeah, he's my baby.
Yeah, Lena's my baby, and she doesn't. You know how lots of dogs will like give you kisses and licks, like as kisses and stuff. She doesn't really do that, but if she comes in the room and she wants you to know she's there, because I wear headphones and stuff, she bumps her snout into you just to say, "Hey, I'm here," and I think it's so sweet.
Yeah, I know they're so funny,
and we love our doggy.
He's so cute.
I told Steve that too. I said it's a good thing you have self-control because if it's up to me, I'd probably bring in every stray that I could. Like I would just have so many animals, but you know, with husbands, you have to compromise or something like that.
I know. Well, we kind of were thinking maybe we should get another dog just for Ranger to have somebody to hang out with, but I don't know.
How old is Ranger?
But he wants I think he'll be 4 or 5. He'll be 5 this year. And then, but Jason wants he wants like a dog that's not going to get very big. Like
that was what I wanted this time too, because I had a medium-sized dog in Canada. I wanted a small dog this time, one that I could take everywhere with me and stuff. But like I've said in the past, that the compromise for me and Steve was I wanted a dog, so he got to choose the kind. So he wanted a German Shepherd, so that's why we got a German Shepherd. And honestly, I love all dogs for the most part. So I mean, there's breeds that I would rather not have. You know, like poodles. There's nothing against their personality. I just don't like the way their fur. Like I like the soft fur. So Lena's head's really soft compared to most of her body, but I don't have like a preference in types, like saying, oh, this personality is better than that one, because I think all dogs have different personalities, anyways. But I really love Lena specifically. Like she's got such a good temperament, and she loves being out in the garden with me and everything else. So I'm glad that we got her, and her name's Lena, which I've explained in other lives of why that's significant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's funny because like we have like our old dog Colby was a yellow lab, and then Ranger is a chocolate lab, but even though they're the same kind of family, they're so different, like just such a different temperament. Like Colby was like, he was just rambunctious even after he got fixed. We didn't get Ranger fixed because he's such a laid back dog. Like he's just, you know, he's just his personality, and he is such a baby. Like Jason, when we got Colby, Jason, I think when he was a year old, took him duck hunting, but like that fit Colby, but Ranger, he wouldn't have did it. Like he just too much of a baby, but I babied him quite a bit when he was a puppy.
So it's your fault.
It is, because I was like, well, we're not having a human baby, so this is going to be like my baby.
So 2 things. One, my Uncle Bob always had labs, which again goes back to the name Lena. That's a story about my Uncle Bob, but Uncle Bob always had labs. And this is how dumb I am, or maybe I knew it and didn't really put it together. But the other day on some kind of nature show that we were watching, they were talking about Labrador retrievers and like how they're originally bred in Canada from Labrador. And that's what I was like, what? They're Canadian? And then Steve's like, Labrador. And I was like, yeah, but I said lots of names of towns or cities or places can be could have duplicates. Like now that I live over here in the UK,
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, I thought like Devon, right? Devon by Edmonton. Like there's a Devon here. So like all these names are, I think, oh, that's like a name of a place in Alberta or in Canada. It's like, no, actually, that's why there's like New York, because York is here. New Jersey, because Jersey Island's like up here. Like so many things. The names are already.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Edmonton is a part of London.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know. So when I was like, Labradors are Canadian. Did you know that Labradors were originally bred in Canada?
Yeah, but that's because I just was reading about them and that they were like bred in Canada or whatever. Yeah. So.
I mean, I can assume that German Shepherds are from Germany.
Probably.
Do you know what time it is right now?
I have no idea.
No, neither do I.
Oh, it's 2:00. 10 after 2 here.
Oh, okay. So we are 10 minutes over the rambling hour, but that's okay because I started late. So I probably have been on for like an hour. And yes, I've seen like Roberta has come on, and my friend Meg, it just came on now. And that's one of the ones I was talking about before about, having friends in Ontario that are some of my best friends. And actually, happy birthday, Megan. Her birthday's tomorrow, so.
Happy birthday.
Okay, Lena, stop. That noise of them like.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was gonna, I don't know if I think Roberta and I have like, you can answer this because I'm pretty sure, and I forgot about until now, but I think you posted on Trevor's girlfriend's page or something like that, like his, so I don't know if they're still dating or not, but.
Hang on, who's Trevor?
Oh, one of Jason's friends.
So you don't know if Roberta,
and I remember
Roberta's been with her husband James forever.
No, one of Roberta's friends. Like I think Roberta posted on Trevor's girlfriend's page a long time ago, and it just came to me.
Okay, so Trevor is Jason's friend, and you think Roberta is friends with Trevor's girlfriend?
Yes.
Got you. But again, that goes all the way back to everybody being like, connected somehow. So yeah, that's crazy. I want you to be my guest again because we barely talk about any memories or any of the funny things. We haven't embarrassed our kids enough. But at the same time, because it's late here, I need to keep it to close to an hour for my rambling hour. Although I could ramble and ramble and ramble. That's why I do it every week, though. So we're going to have to cut it off. Not that I want to, but like I said, I'll have you again. Yeah. And we can think of some of the funny stories. Like one of the ones when you said about when you were talking about friendships and what it means to you, and you said like when you can be weird around and just be yourself around it. And what came to mind was that time when we were sleeping beside each other, which we slept over all the time. But one time specifically when I was like half asleep and you were like, I'm assuming you might have been asleep as well, but you said, I wonder what it's like to be a tree. And I said, I don't know, just put out your arms and pretend you're blowing in the wind. And I just went back to sleep. And it's those weird things.
I remember that. Yeah.
I know. But we have so many memories and so many. And I'm so glad that even though we're like worlds apart, we still get to have this, communication, and we still get to be friends. And I know we didn't keep in contact as much when you were up in high level and stuff. But also, I want to say thank you to you for that too, because I know it was hard for you and some of our other friends, our mutual friends and stuff that I've gone through phases. Now with technology, it's easier, but there was times when we didn't have this that you guys were not really happy with me for not keeping in contact. And I hope you guys know that it wasn't personal, that it was me just needing it was totally selfish, absolutely, but I had to be for my sanity.
Right. And that's where it comes with forgiveness, right? Like you can't hold everything, and it is what it is, and now it's now, right? So,
and I hope that I hope that I have, and I hope that you see that I have, because I have been trying in the past however many years, like I have been trying to put in that effort more with friends, specifically, my best friends who they felt hurt by me not, because friendship is a two-way street, and I have to make sure that if you guys respect that I need alone time, I need to respect that you need contact with me, to know that I'm still there. So, so I hope that I have done better.
Yeah, and I mean it is what it is, right? And we grow up and we learn that people need their boundaries too, right? So
Well, I'm
yeah,
learning
it's all
about
good.
boundaries now that I'm in my 40s.
But you know what I mean?
I
Like
do, yes.
if you were like, yeah, like it's, and being your best friend, I should have too realized that it's not like it was just something all of a sudden and new, right? It's like,
I think the thing for me and you, I think why it was hardest for you is that my alone time when I was growing up, so much of my alone time included you. Because we could be so much ourselves around each other, you weren't one of those people that I was trying to escape when I needed to be alone.
right.
So I think it was that adjustment, the fact that we were together all the time and rarely got sick of each other, to now me not talking too much at all. And it was because
Right.
if we lived close, you would have still been at my house. You would have still been in that bubble, even when I needed my alone time. And yet because we didn't live close, I couldn't have it both ways. I couldn't be alone with you in my bubble or be with you because then I wasn't alone. You know what I mean? And
Right.
also
And even,
raising kids and stuff like that. And you can attest for this, like even trying to get you to be on my
yeah,
live or whatever. Like it's just life is busy.
yeah, yeah. And I think growing up too, like even if I was at your house or whatever, and if you need, then it was like I could go and hang out with your sisters or whatever, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
or just go and be
Oh
upstairs,
yeah,
or
yeah. So yeah, that's true too. That you, even if you were at the house, we might be in different. That happened to me a lot with friends with my mom. Like my people loved my parents, and I would be like, thinking like, where is whatever Betty, right? My friend Betty, where she's like, she hasn't been. She's upstairs and she hasn't come back to my room, and it's been like an hour. Where is she? And then she's upstairs talking to my mom or my dad, and just. So you would do that
yeah,
too. Yeah, you would be hanging out with my brother and his friends or one of my sisters or whatever. And then I would have that alone time even though you were there. But that was because like we were that close. And it's the same thing at your house. Like
yeah,
it just you and even times when I was at your house and like you would have to go out with your dad for like a couple hours or whatever, and I would just still be at your house with your sister or whatever. Just yeah. So yeah, I guess we
yeah,
do that too. But that was why that was so great because we were that comfortable with each other, that we could just it was yeah.
yeah. Like even if I went to your house or whatever, and if you weren't there, it wasn't a big deal, right? It was like you're like, well, I'm not gonna be home. Even when we were there, when you were there, like a couple years ago, it was like we went and it wasn't even a big deal that you weren't there.
Yeah, that I know. Well, and but
Right.
it's good, and I
Yeah.
hope our kids have places like that where they feel like a second home because it's really important. I know my cousin Sean and I know my cousin Dustin said something about this too, but my cousin Sean said, or was it? Anyways, it was at my parents' house. Like with all the changes in some people's lives, some people move all the time. That things change. Their parents get divorced. They get like all these things happen, and my parents' house was their one constant. It was the one
Yeah.
thing that stayed the same. and
Yeah.
and I know your mom's still in the same house that she was in since you guys moved to Edmonton when you were 9, and it's the same thing. Like I thought about that house, like how much had like your niece and nephew were raised in that house. Besides you and your sister and brother, but then your niece and nephew
Yeah.
were raised in that house, and now it's just your mom. Is your mom just all alone now?
No, my sister is there.
Oh right, okay, yeah, because Baba,
Yeah.
and then Baba came and actually lived there permanently for years, and like that house
Yeah.
has seen so much too, and so many different generations and everything else. I miss your Baba's pizza so much. I can put bacon on my pizza, but it doesn't taste the same as Baba's. I mean, and the borscht
I
and
know.
everything else that she cooked, but I mean, I
Yeah.
can't get it the same.
Neither can I. I've tried.
I just want her to come and fill my freezer with pizza like she did in the summers when we were kids. She'd fill the
know,
freezer
right?
and then go back to Ontario.
Yeah.
I say it like it was
Yeah.
my freezer too.
I know. But that's okay because it was. So
Yeah, I know. I miss that friendship like that. We just lived at each other's houses and everything else.
yeah.
And I'm
Well, and that's what,
sorry.
sorry. Oh, Leland and his friend, like it sucks because, well, his friend too lives in or lived in Bonnyville. They don't live there anymore, but they moved to Lloyd now. But if they lived closer, it would be the same with them. Like Leland could go there, and well, and he did. Like last summer he was there for a week or something, and Will had to go to work and Leland just hung out.
Yeah,
like it was no big deal. So
yeah, and I'm
no.
assuming that I'm gonna be okay to use all my friends like that too if when the girls are older, if they want to start traveling. I mean, if things were different now and they wanted to go for the summer to Canada, you know, but because of travel and everything else, let's say when they're adults, if they want to go to Canada, I'm going to use my friends and be like, "Ooh, you can stay with Auntie Rachel for a few weeks, and then you can stay here," and then, you know, and
Yeah.
that they have those places to stay, and it'll just feel like home. And actually, my friend Lisa Young from Ontario, that's where I stayed when I went for my retreats, and it was weird because even the first year that I stayed there, I hadn't even met her before, but we had been friends online for years, and when I went to her house and stayed there, it felt like home. And then when I went back the next year and the next year, both like only for a few days, but it felt like I you know, finally got home. And like to the point where I'd get up, you know, get from the airport, they would pick me up and I'd bring me there or whatever. And I'd be like lying on the sofa in the living room having a nap, just like, oh, I'm finally home. Well, everybody's around trying to watch TV, or, you know, and it's nice, and you have those places that just feel like home. So I do miss Lisa Young and Grandma Dolly and stuff there. I'll do a shout out to them in Ontario because I have, since me and Steve started dating, I haven't been back. Even when he was doing the retreats in Canada, I never went again because I was here, so it wasn't the same as going. Yeah, plus he's my teacher, so but then I didn't get to see Meg and Lisa like I did those 3 years that I went there. But yeah, so is there anything else you want to say before we go? But I will have you on again, so.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like if I said it, we will just go on and we'll never sign off. So
yeah.
We'll save it for another day.
Yes. So is there anything else you want to say to all those people? What about all your followers? There's like lots of your people who said hi today too.
Oh, thanks for watching.
Hope you enjoyed it.
And yes, hopefully you enjoyed it. And if we come on again, I will apologize in advance if I say anything that might well, no, it's not that we weren't that shocking, but
I think there's a few things I've said that if Steve watches this, he's going to be like,
yes,
but not
yes,
you. You've been good. It's me who has the, you know.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh boy, you know, like it's not like we weren't like super bad or anything like that, but I think if we were to talk about some things, some people might be surprised. What's that?
Cringe.
Yeah.
That's a word that the teenagers use now, like cringing. Oh, okay. You know, cringe. Oh, mom, that is so cringe.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm using it right. I think it means that you cringe at the idea. Like, ugh.
Yeah. I know, and I try to use their lingo more so just to embarrass them because Ashlyn just like she gets so embarrassed and stop it, mom. I'm like, it's just us here.
I know, like I swear down. Do you remember like because where we grew up there was like lots of Lebanese people, right? So Lebanon is a very small country, so they didn't necessarily export all of them to it. Like they didn't move to a lot of places in the world. So being in Edmonton, I know a lot of Lebanese people, but here not as many. But do you remember like how they would always be like, oh shoot, I've lost it now. It means I swear, like swear to God. What is it again? Like,
was it Allah?
Allah is God, but no, they'd say like,
oh no.
Oh, I had it the other day. I was explaining it to Steve because I heard it on something that I was watching, and it's also the same. It's like Arabic, so it's not just Lebanese, but that when they're like, oh, what is it?
I can't remember.
But that's what it reminds me of is the kids now. They say, oh, I swear down. Like I swear, but they say I swear down. I swear down. I never did it. I swear down. It's like, what does that even mean? But it's no, I'm not letting you go until we can think of this word. What is it? I know they always said it. Always like over said it.
I can't remember. I honestly can't. And Alia was another one of my close friends.
I know,
so I'm like, I should know this.
Now. I know. I was just thinking that too. Sid is Brazilian and Lebanese, but oh, what is it? What is it? Do you have your phone with you?
No, it died.
Oh, that's Aurora just getting ready for bed, but I was gonna look it up. It's come on, you know it. They said it all the time.
Here,
you're gonna look it up?
Yeah, I have my
I swear to God in Arabic or
okay, hold on here.
And I'll try to think of it. Oh, this is bugging me because they said it all the time. Like as often as I said the word like, oh my God, like totally. Like,
Oh, yes.
I do not want to be in your life.
oh, that's okay.
Are you still
I'll see you. I'm going to be done. I'll say goodnight to you in a minute when I'm up there then.
Only because I don't look really good right
No, that's fine.
Voila.
Voila. Yes. Oh my God. Thank you. Voila. And they said that all the time. Like, I swear, dude. I swear, dude. And they're like, voila, voila. Yeah. So that's what, when the kids say, I swear down, that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for looking that up.
Oh, yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
I have my computer open with my phone, like, resting on
Yeah,
it.
that's a good thing
Yeah.
to do, because then it's also easier to see the comments, because they're bigger on your computer than on the phone. It is weird that you can only join people into your conversation on the phone.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I got to remember that when I'm asking people to be my guests too, or having them on, that they need to have a, I don't know if it needs to be an iPhone specifically, or if it has to be a smartphone, like if it has to be on a mobile. But
it's probably mobile, like just any phone,
yeah.
I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to check. But okay, everybody, thank you for tuning in to Rambling Hour.
Thank you.
My guest was my childhood best friend, RHwL, and she will be with us again one day. And tune in next Sunday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and 8 p.m. UK time, where I am in England. And yeah, I don't know what's happening next week, but we'll have something interesting, and I might have a guest, I might not, I don't know. And I don't even know what's happening. So we'll see you later. Thanks for thanks for joining the conversation. Love you guys. And
thanks for having me.
That's why I like doing the lives too. When you said about you don't know what you would talk about for an hour or however long, that's why I like having people like viewing it live. Not that, I mean, if they watch later, that's fine too. But while it's live, they can give me ideas, because once I get a word or trigger in my head, I can talk about it for a long time. But yeah, I like that interaction better. Yeah. But anyways, love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye, RHwL.
Bye. Love you guys. Bye. Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.